Welcome students to another day in the Foods Lab. Today we are going to be working on a classic American snack that's been around for a really long time called Chex Party Mix. Previous to doing this, we talked about snacking and how important it is to take and read the nutrition facts because no one snack is the perfect thing. I guess unless you're saying fruits or vegetables. To me, those are perfect snacks. But this particular snack, again, has been around for a really long time, and the way that you know about what's in it is you've got to read nutrition facts on pre-made Chex Party Mix, or you could, of course, read the nutrition facts on all of these different ingredients that we're adding in. But you must read them. Read those nutrition facts. Compare and contrast. What you think are exactly the same actually could be very, very different. And then choose the ones that's the most healthy for you. Sometimes it's going to be super healthy in one thing and maybe not so much in another, but at least you're going forward knowing facts about the nutrition that's found in it. Previous to this filming, I've gone ahead and washed my hands for 20 seconds. I have read through the recipe. I understand it. I've assembled all of my ingredients and all of my pieces of equipment that I think I'm going to need. And since I'm ready to go, let's go ahead and begin. Step number 1 says in a small microwavable bowl, we're going to microwave the butter covered on high for about 30 seconds until melted. We need 1/4 of a cup, which is half of a stick. And I'm just using one of our cereal bowls inside, and you can see I've gone ahead and already pre-melted this, and I put a plate over the top of it to stop it from splattering all over the place. Then it says we're going to go ahead and stir in a couple of ingredients. The first one that we're stirring in is something pretty funky called Worcestershire sauce. I have a hard time with that. This is going to give our party mix kind of a little smoky, different type of a flavor. It's a bit salty of an ingredient in general, and if I look at the list of ingredients, I'm going to say vinegar, molasses, which is a sweetener, water, corn syrup. It's going to have sugar and salt, and it's got anchovies. Oh my goodness. It's going to have tamarind extract. It's got celery seed in it. Got some funny different spices that maybe you don't know much about. And I'm going to put 1/4 of a teaspoon into this mixture, if I can get the lid off. Oh my goodness, there we go. And I'm not going to measure it over my bowl. I'm going to measure it over, this time, the countertop, because I don't have a splash bowl below me. But I'm going to fill that all the way full and come over here and stir that into my butter. You notice I'm just using a fork. I don't need anything fancy on this. It says I need a 1/2 teaspoon of seasoned salt. Seasoned salt is something you buy in the spice section. This is a combination of all sorts of spices. It says it's got chili, pepper, as well as salt, chili pepper, black pepper, celery seed. It's got paprika. It's got onion, garlic. It's got all sorts of funky things inside of here. So I would just take a look at this and say, that's interesting. It's kind of a different color. Can you see this? It's kind of got the orange. That's probably from some of the red peppers, the paprika. That's going to be found inside of it. So all sorts of different kinds of colors going on there. Pop that in there. It also says that I'm going to be adding in onion powder, which is, again, a spice that we'll find in our grocery stores. And it is kind of white. They've taken onions and they've completely dehydrated them. Then they've ground them up into a powder. So that's the white one that you're going to see. The next one, done the same sort of thing to garlic. They've dried the garlic and they've ground it into just a powder. And this is going to be kind of a more yellowy one than the white of the onion powder. Then I'm going to take this mix and I'm going to mix that all together. All right, that's step number 2. And then it says in a large microwavable bowl. So I need to find something that will go in the microwave. And here at school, we're going to be picking up this casserole dish. And inside of this, it says that we're going to take and place the cereal. I've got 3 different types of cereal. This is wheat Chex. It's the darker one. I have a rice Chex, which is kind of a white one. And then I have corn Chex, which is kind of the more yellow color one. Lots of color going in here. It says I'm going to put in the mixed nuts. And those of you that like mixed nuts, you're in hog heaven, because if you're like me, this makes me a happy camper. it says I'm going to be putting in these pretzels, and I'm using some tiny pretzels, the smallest ones I could buy. And then the last thing I'm adding in is these garlic flavor bagel chips. Now these are not bite-sized unless you've got a massive mouth. So I want you to take and maybe break them into fours and add them to our mixture. All right, everything should be something you could put in your hand and then just pop it right in your mouth. So no big gigantical pieces. This is going to be a quick and easy fun snack. After we've gone ahead and done that with all of our bagel chips, it says that we're going to gradually mix the seasoning or butter into the cereal with our hands until evenly coated. So if I take this right here and I just all of a sudden pop this on top of my cereal all in one spot, then I'm going to have super saturated, oh really strong flavoring, but I don't want to do that. So I'm going to take this right here and I'm going to do a drizzle. Just going to go ahead and drizzle back and forth like this. And I'm going to maybe get in here and toss it. Do it a little bit more. Toss it a little bit more. Yeah, I can just use my hands. And then I'm going to use my flexible spatula. And we're going to get the rest of our concoction, our flavorings, out of there. All right? I don't want to really use a spoon to do this. First off, because there's not much extra space in our bowls here at school. But secondly, I want to be really careful with these cereals, because if I'm not careful with them, then I'm going to find out that it's easy to crunch them. You can see I'm having hard times keeping the inside of this bowl as is. And I want to kind of toss this a little bit until all of those ingredients are covered. After we've gone ahead and mixed those all evenly as best we can, get the coating all over everything. You can't see it, but you can kind of feel it. Now I can see it a little bit. Then we're ready to go ahead and put it in the microwave oven for about 3 minutes. I'm going to quickly wash off my hands, get that buttery off a little bit before I pop that into my oven. Let's get the last of that in there. Now it says that I'm going to cook this on high, and I'm going to stir it after 1 minute. If you put it in for 3 minutes and you try to cook it 3 minutes all the way straight through, you're going to have burnt Chex Mix. The original Chex Mix, actually, they had it. It's been around, like I said, for a long time, and they did not have microwave ovens. So they would make this and cook it in their oven for a couple of hours on low heat. And then they would go ahead and serve it. The history is kind of fun, so I thought I'd share it with you just to touch. The Chex cereal was made by a company called Ralston Purina at that time. Maybe you've heard of Purina before. They do an awful lot of animal foods now. They don't make cereal products for humans anymore. But in the 1930s, they came up with wheat Chex, and they sold it, it's true, to humans. Hold on to the story. Let me take my cereal out, or my Chex Mix out. I'm going to take this right now, and because it could be hot, now I'm going to use my spoon. And this time I'm just kind of flopping it over a little bit, flipping and flopping, flopping and flipping, stirring it around, and I'm going to put it back in for the next minute. Anyway, they made this cereal for humans, this wheat Chex, and they called it Chex. I know, this is where I'm going, because it reminded them of the checkerboard on their logo. And so they named, can you see that? Little Chex. Well, this was in the 1930s, and it took them a while before they came up with Rice Chex, which is using the rice grain. And again, they made it into the little squares and named out, kind of like this right here, kind of partners right here. And about this time, they think they maybe started making the party mix. But it wasn't until 1952 that they actually, there's proof that there was a recipe. I know, it was even before I was born. In the late almost 1960s, late 1950s, almost 1960s, corn Chex came about, and it was an easy sell to get it to go in with our Chex Party Mix. So kind of a fun little history. Again, it's named Chex after the checkerboard pattern that used to be owned, Chex used to be owned by the Purina Company. They no longer are. You can see up here on the corner that the Chex cereal has been bought by General Mills. All right, this is our second 2 minutes. And the last minute, okay, I'm gonna turn this. If you start to smell burning, you know that you have not stirred very well. I'm looking in here and I'm seeing some, ooh, and I'm even starting to pick a smell up. I'm doing this flip over, kind of like a fold in. Get those mixtures all combined. Oh, yum, it smells delicious. Don't forget this guy. Let's get it kind of evened out, okay? And now we're for our last minute. I'm gonna keep a close eye on it. Again, if I start to still smell burning, I'm gonna stop. Now, while that's finishing up, I'm gonna get some paper towel out. Let's just give this a quick wipe down. I'm gonna get some paper towel out and get it on my countertop because we do have to let this cool just a half a titch. It's cooked now for 20 of those seconds. I'm keeping my sniffer sniffing. I don't want it to burn. Sniffer sniffing. If I smell anything that smells bad, again, I've stirred it after 1 minute every time, or it will burn. Kind of interesting, I thought, as I was looking at this. Look at this, original Chex Party Mix. I wonder if this one has it on it. Oh, original Chex Party Mix. Oh my heck, it's on every single one of these labels. Been around for a long time. Have you tried Muddy Buddies before? They're also kind of fun. All right, I'm down to just a few seconds. 8 seconds. I was a little nervous. I thought I smelled something, but I looked and I didn't see anything. 3, 2, 1. And that goes off. Not quite. I got it before it dinged. All right. Now it's cooked for 3 minutes. So now it says that I'm going to spread it on paper towels. And I'm just going to lay it out here on these paper towels to let it all the way cool. And I spread it out. Oh, it's hot. It's hot. It's hot. It's hot. And that, my dear friends, I'll bag up in some sandwich bags and take it with me. Don't put your Chex Mix in these bags too quickly. Otherwise it steams up and then you're gonna have soggy Chex Party Mix. Fun, easy, delightful, lots of good things that are found in here. I hope you'll enjoy them. All right, we'll see ya. Bye-bye.